Hey everybody, Brad C here. I got a present for my wife and I thought I would share it with the channel. This is the Sabre Red Home Defense Pepper Gel, and this is the massive home defense size, and you can actually mount this. It comes with a bracket and you can mount it beside of your bed. Whatever you choose to defend yourself with, and I certainly support the Second Amendment and I do carry a firearm at most times, but there are situations where pepper spray might be the better choice. Now right to left here you've got my bedside pistol, the Glock 19, then the Glock 26, that's my personal choice for carry, and then I've got two guns that I can keep strategically placed, and that's the Sky CPX-2. And none of these guns have the manual safety. They obviously have other safeties, and you should always make sure that you follow all safety guidelines. But as far as a manual safety, the Glock pistol and the Sky does not have one. Personally, I believe when you're in a life-endangering situation, a safety is only going to get in your way. But hey, each to their own. Before we take it out of the box, let's just glean a little bit of information. This is made in the USA. As you can see here, this is a pepper gel formula, and we'll cover more of that later. It's listed as having a 25-foot range, but their commercial says 30 feet. So I really don't know. Their motto is making grown men cry since 1975. And you've got your friendly neighborhood robber. He's got his fire engine red crowbar, so you can know it's a crowbar there. #1 brand used by police, and supposedly this is used by the NYPD. Okay, it's out of the box, and I'm going to remove this cord here. I'm going to snip that, and I'm going to go ahead and snip this. Now, I'm not sure if they suggest that you leave that on and you pull the pin and it breaks that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read you the instructions because this is interesting to me. It says, pull metal safety pin away from handle to remove zip tie. Press down on the long yellow section of the handle with the thumb to fire the canister. Point towards facial area, blah, blah, blah. Now, to me, that's interesting because that means I have to break that little thing there to get this process started, or more importantly, my wife would have to. Now, I'm sure that is probably the safe way to do it, and definitely follow the directions that you are given, but I'm going to purposely go ahead and cut that and get that a little bit more ready, so I'll give you a shot of it. Okay, I've removed the zip tie, and to me, it still has a very tight feel here. That's definitely not going to be just something that would fall out. It's literally, I can put my thumb in here and still not. See, I can just barely move it out just with the thumb pressure I'm putting against it. So now once you pull this pin out, then this yellow button can be depressed, and that's going to actually bring the gel out. So I want to give you a little size comparison. It is 13 ounces, and this is a 12-ounce Coke can. So basically it's got the contents of a can of Coke inside of here, a little bit more, and here's a 2-liter bottle. But this is a massive can, obviously, when you're talking mace. I mean, usually you've got a little tiny little spray. Now, it's supposed to be the highest legal dose that you can use against an attacker. So this is the top of the line here. And I just want to say that it's made really ergonomically. It's very comfortable to pick this thing up. Easily I can balance it with one hand and get a good firm grip on it. Now, the advantage of a gel versus a normal spray is a gel is not going to aerosolize in the air. Now, there's going to be a little bit, but supposedly very little. Normally when you spray mace, you're going to get a lot of blowback. The wind's going to blow some back at you, and it's just normal. You're just going to breathe in some, and you just got to deal with that. Obviously, you'll not have as much as the attacker, hopefully, but you're going to have a fair amount to deal with. Whereas with this gel, the idea behind this, and I've seen video footage of this, is it is going to be more like a massive paste, and it sticks to one area instead of just spraying and going all over the place and running. It runs a little bit, but it mainly stays where you put it. It kind of reminds me of like spraying bubbles type thing, where you would spray it and it's just a foam that kind of just stays right there and doesn't move. So this is going to be perfect for an indoor situation where you might have small children or even small dogs, and of course your wife herself is going to get this thing out, and wherever she sprays, it's going to stay there and it's not going to be blowing all through the air. And supposedly this also does not go up into your ventilation system. Now, the cool thing about Sabre Red is they have a 4-year shelf life versus the normal 2 years. And you can see here I actually wrote the date. That way, in 4 years, I'll know that this is no longer at optimal quality. Now, I personally won't throw it away. I'll probably take it and maybe put it in a cabin or, put it someplace, because it still would have an effect on somebody, even at that point. But I want my wife to have top of the line access, and I want it to be full strength. Now let's talk about no shake needed. Sabre Red claims that their formula is different than other formulas in that you don't need to do the normal quick shake to get the pressure built up. You can immediately grab it, pull the pin, and boom. So you're ready to go. Those few precious seconds of having to shake the bottle could be the difference in life and death, obviously. Now, I'd never heard of this, but they actually claim that most other brands have a 30% heat failure rate. Supposedly they've eliminated that, so they've really taken this to the next level, it appears. Okay, now we've talked about a lot of pros, and obviously, this is a beast setup. But let's talk about the cons, because I do have one, and that is this carrying case, or I should say the wall mount. Now, there is a benefit to having a wall mount, and that is you don't lose it. I know this thing's big, and you probably were not going to leave this, wherever, but, having it in a place where it's there is ideal. So I'm going to make my own, and it shouldn't be that difficult, just a PVC tube, and mount that to the wall, and that way it can be an easy drop in, not extremely tight, not extremely loose fit. Now, the reason that they make it like this is for safety, and obviously follow all safety guidelines, and I'm just telling you something I'm going to do to make it easier for me. But keep in mind, you may have small children, you may have guests that you are not comfortable with having something loose where they could pick up and use. It is difficult to pull out. In fact, it's impossible just to pull out like this. It won't pull out. It's impossible. You have to do it like this, using your thumbs, pull back, and then squeeze out the bottle and get it out of there. I've seen people wear these holstered. Normally it's bounty hunters or police officers or security. This is a serious beast. If you're a security guard and you're not allowed to carry a gun, but you are allowed to carry mace, this would be a good choice. Imagine the difference in this and one of those little tiny sprays. You put this as a holster on your side and you're ready to go. I'm going to use Bob as a demonstration here, and I'm not going to spray Bob. I'm not going to waste my spray here. I may write the company and see if they'll send me out a couple of cans to test. I would like to test the stuff, but I'm sorry, at close to $50 a bottle, I'm going to have to just hang on to that one. And anyways, when you're going to be spraying someone, obviously 25 to 30 feet is the max distance. I would not let an attacker get closer than that, and I would start unleashing on them. Remember, if somebody is coming up to you in a parking lot, have no problem saying, hey, stay back, I'm not comfortable. Now, obviously, that's if you feel threatened. I'm not just saying if, somebody's walking along, they don't even realize you're talking to them, and you say stop, hold up, and they don't pay attention, they're bebopping around their cell phone, you spray them in the face with mace, that's probably not going to go down too well. But you get the idea here. And when you spray the attacker, you want to spray left to right or right to left, but you want to make sure you coat it across his face. And you just want to you want to get that coated as much as possible over both eyes. And that's going to affect the eyes, the nose, the mucous membranes, of course the mouth. You're going to inhale it, his throat. His whole face is going to be having a really bad day. So when you spray the person, don't just automatically assume it's going to drop down immediately. When you spray him at first, it's going to take a little while. So spray, back up a good distance, and give yourself some space. Remember, you don't have to freeze. Stay where you're at. Know your surroundings. Look and see if there's other people with him or could be other people around. But get back and get out of the area, and again, maintain your distance. And if they close in again, then you spray them again. And you just keep going until eventually it's going to kick in, and trust me, they're going to be on the ground wishing they had never came anywhere near you. And my suggestion is do not try to move in on someone you just maced and try to restrain them. Unless you're a police officer, unless you have some sort of serious training, I would spray them, mace them good, call 911, maintain a safe distance, and again, monitor them, watch them, make sure they don't have any other weapons, but be careful about trying to move in and trying to restrain them or put them in handcuffs or whatever you think you might be going to do. Your best bet is to maintain a safe distance and wait for the police, basically, and spray them down again if they continue to to fight through. I just have to talk to the wife and letting creepy Bob in our bedroom. doubt you will, but man, look at that. You can pull it right out and be ready to go. Now, just a little idea here. I'm actually going to make a really nice sign, and I'm going to laminate it, but I just wanted to show you quickly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a sign that goes beside of this bottle, and it gives you the 1, 2, 3 steps. Pull pin, squeeze trigger, spray across face. And you know, this helps the wife or anybody that you're trying to teach to remain calm in the situation, and they've got 3 steps they follow, and you want to practice to where these are already ingrained, but it just gives them a little bit of a crutch. You know, these are the steps. You know, if I hear someone banging around trying to get in the door, boom, get my can, get ready, go over my 3 steps. I know I'm going to pull the pin. In fact, I might go ahead and do that. Squeeze trigger. That way, you know, when the boom comes and they jump up and they realize, what do? They've got those 3 steps right there if they happen to freeze, and you're ready to go. Get a shot of Winford there with Bob. That's so hilarious. Bob, pull your pants up. Is that your buddy now, Winford? I figures.